Welcome back to another Beyond Awesome, where we talk to Beyond Awesome people. We talk about Beyond Awesome topics. I'm super pumped about our guest today, Bayat, but I want to first thank Heather for everything that you do. How are you doing today, Heather?
I'm doing great, Jason. What about you?
I'm Beyond Awesome because we haven't done one in a couple days, and usually we do one like every day, so I'm kind of pumped about it. But it's not about us. Bayat, thank you so much for taking the time today.
You're very welcome. I'm excited to be on one of these Beyond Awesome ones.
Well, we only let Beyond Awesome people on here, so there you go. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name is Beat Kramer. I'm the CEO of Contronex. We are a distributor of managed IT security solutions. My wife and me founded the company 30 years ago, and I was born and raised in Switzerland and been in Naples, Florida for 30 years.
That's fantastic. So what would be your favorite part about working with Bitdefender?
I think my favorite part is really the product itself. I think the technology is excellent. The people behind that create that technology that are not always in the spotlight, I think they're doing a fantastic job.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. Let me ask you another question. What would be something people would be surprised about if they found out about you? Well, I mean, you're a pretty open book, right? So that's why it's interesting.
No, I would say it's the other way around. I'm more like
really?
A national man of mystery.
Oh, okay. I like it.
Wow, there's many things I could pick. I'd probably say you would be surprised that I was as a wax figure in the first Swiss technology museum when I was 17.
What? Okay, I need to know more about this. Sorry, Jason, but I got to cut in here.
Okay, so they opened up a technology museum in Switzerland called Technorama, and they looked for people that were, in conjunction with computers and technology and, all these developments. So they picked a student, a housewife, a businessman, a construction worker. So one out of each area. They created a wax figure of them. I had to give my clothes and everything. And then they interviewed you, what your outlook is with technology and how do you see technology in the future, and put a little video screen atop your wax figure. And then people could go around and listen to whatever you had to say.
Okay, he's an actual rock star.
But unfortunately, that exhibit had been exchanged a few years ago. Obviously, when I was 17, it's been a couple of years. And I last year made a call, and I called there, wanted to see if maybe in the archive somewhere in the basement, they still have that wax figure. But I was told by the time they removed the exhibit, these wax figures were in such bad shape from all the people touching and kicking them that they no longer have it.
And hugging them.
Right.
Yes,
there was some hugging too. Okay, I got another one for you, and then Heather asked some really good questions. So let me ask you, what is your favorite movie of all time?
My favorite movie of all time, I would have to go with Rounders.
Very good. That's a good one, then. That's the first time we've heard that one.
Yeah, that is.
What do you love about that movie?
I love how it builds up to this final game. And I love the characters, all the characters, especially KGB.
Yeah. Nice. All right, Heather, what do you got for Bayat?
Okay, so going back to what they asked you when you were a wax figure, where do you see the next move in the security space, or what do you think people should be aware of coming next?
Whoa. If I would know that, then that's where I would be investing big time, yes. I think it's just everything's gotten so complex, and our whole use of devices and computers has become so prevalent. I mean, we're on our devices and computers not only just because we're in IT, but everybody is. People that are in real estate, people that are in any kind of business. So I think the next big move will be zero trust. It will be that every user has an identity, and you will only gain access to websites and content with your identity, because that way you can keep the bad guy out. He doesn't even get access to the website to start hacking it because he doesn't have the right identity. I think zero trust is the next big thing.
I mean, that kind of goes back to if we didn't have users in IT, we'd never have any issues, right? So that was a joke that we always said internally. So kind of going there, right? Don't let them go through the door if they shouldn't be inside the door. Simple.
That's why I
Easy.
say, that's the low-hanging fruit. People need to think about security awareness training before anything else right now, because we still have the weakest link is the human risk.
Yes. And what I will commend you for, Beat, for your company is the trainings you do, and you make sure people understand the technology, how to use it, how to deploy it, your support, which is super phenomenal. So thank you for that, because you make us, our joint customers, happy, and that's phenomenal.
Thank you. I have a great team. It's all about the employees. It's not.
It's all about the people.
I'm just a troubleshooter. It's all about.
There you go.
So my next question goes into sort of the people side. When you're talking to new partners or partners that are just trying to figure out where do they start or what should they look at, what piece of advice do you give them?
You're talking specifically in regards to Bitdefender?
It could be anything. No, it doesn't have to be us, but in general, like if you're giving them advice or where to start.
The advice I would give them is to really look at the whole picture first before they go into too much detail. The tendency is that everybody's so busy right now. They're lacking manpower. They're busy because security is in everybody's mind. But then they just jump into solutions rather than really finding out about the solutions first and all the possibilities they can do. And this goes even for existing partners of ours. They're too busy to look at new features of products that we offer them. And it's almost impossible for us many times to get in touch with them. Forget about webinars, nobody has time anymore. They're invited to 20 webinars a day. So for us to communicate with them and actually show them what they could do better and more with their current solution, I think that's one of the weak points.
Yeah, I think people have webinar fatigue, right? Or, constantly being pounded with stuff. And what we're trying to do is just help, right? We're just trying to help you. So just take that few minutes. So that's all we're trying to do. But again, when people knock on your door, they could be with a check for $1 million and you don't want to answer the door because you think it's a solicitor, right? So it's one of those things, right?
So my last question for you, and then I'm done. Going into connecting with partners and really helping them, one thing I think is going to happen in the future, or successful companies are going to do in the future, is figure out what they're really good at, hone in on it, and find others to support that they can go to market with in the areas that they may not want to specialize in. How have you seen that progress, and how do you help with that?
Actually, you wouldn't believe how many partners that we introduce to each others that have one service or the other that one is lacking. And I mean, this not only goes between MSPs, but now, as far as right now, it also goes with Bitdefender, because you have the MDR service that you as a vendor can offer to the MSPs for them to use. So I think this cooperation is a big thing, and it will advance a lot more again once we can see each other again. The online thing is fine and good for a year, but I'm ready to travel. I'm ready to meet people, to shake their hands, to look in their eyes, because I think that's where really the essence of good relationships start, is in personal contact. I'm old school.
You know what? I'm old school too, because every business, no matter what it is, it's people. And what you just said is what I think spot on about is looking at someone's eyes. And if you're genuine about what you're trying to do for someone and you're genuinely trying to help them, you can't fail together, right? I mean, we're all in this business to make money so that we can support people and help people. That's why we have to do it, to be able to get the money to keep going. So I love that. I love that sentiment. I love the way you approach that. The only thing I would add on top of MDR and the zero trust would be EDR, is the other big word that I'm hearing out there a lot. And we have a strong solution there too, so people can take a look at that. But at the end of the day, we're just trying to help. We just keep bringing out solutions to help people, because that's why I do what I do, and I think that's why both of you do what you do too, because it just makes us feel better. I like feeling better.
Yes. No, but you know, the complexity of all these layers of security that we're offering. You know, I mean, just by the solutions that we offer, there is 10 layers in those solutions alone. You know, these smaller resellers either need to consolidate, they're going to be, you know, eaten up by one of the bigger ones, or they join forces and work together and help each other.
It's a good point. It's a really good point. I use this analogy, I don't know if you've heard it before, but the house and the layered security for a house. So you close your door, that's one layer. You put the lock on, that's another layer. You put the security system on, that's another layer. Video series, that's another layer. Really big dogs or really small dogs that bark really loud is another layer. So there's a lot of different aspects to it, and I relate that to security. How secure do you want it? How important is your data? How important is your business? So I get that. And that's why it's such a different aspect where you can go certain layers, certain other ones, and you determine what's good for you. And all we're going to do is give you that advice and that data so you can make an informed decision. So I like that a lot. You got anything else, Heather?
No, that was my last one for him. So
oh man,
I kept it easy.
I think
he is.
No questions. Okay.
So Beat, do you have anything you'd like to share with anyone that you haven't shared at all? Just want to give you that time to say whatever you need to say to the world, because everybody in the world watches this, by the way.
Call us and sign up.
There you go. I love it. Actually, I will mimic that. Definitely give him a call. Listen to what they're doing. Listen to their solutions. I think you'd be very, I wouldn't even say surprised, very happy, because I think a lot of people know what you do. So I don't think there'd be a surprise, but I think there's always going to be another level of the support, the focus you give to your partners. I know I talked about it a little earlier, but I really enjoy that and I appreciate it more than you know. So thank you for everything you do.
I mean, we're
Oh,
still one of the few companies where actually somebody picks up the phone.
There you go.
Yep. And you know, we're proud of that. We're proud of that too, and we want to keep it that way because our partners are our livelihood. You know, they're our future too. So we're trying to help our partners as good as we can, because if they grow, we grow, right? It's, you know, give and take. So definitely we're here for our great partners.
And I think people forget the word partner means you're doing it together, right? So I think you just nailed it. If they're successful, we're successful, and vice versa. So it's all about working together. Heather, you have anything else you want to say to the world? I really like the jacket, by the way.
Thank you. I'm trying to beat you. I know.
So we've been matching lately on accident.
The partner look.
There you go.
I didn't get the memo.
Yeah. Well, thank you again for your time. Heather, thank you for making this happen. It doesn't happen without you. Thank you for everybody that took their time to listen to this, watch this, consume it any way you can. If you think you're awesome, and you probably are, give us a shout and we'll get you on the episode and talk. We're going to come out with some other episodes, some panels, different discussion points. We've been just really getting people out there to get known and seen. And Beat's not one of them. Most people know him, but we just wanted to get him on anyway because we just like him. So thank you, everybody. Go out, make a difference, do something positive. It'll make you feel better. It'll make people around you feel better. Thank you. Have a great day.